Hey, and welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, I'm about to jump on my rig and give this thing a belting again because basically I'm addicted to getting in this motion sim and playing racing simulator games. It's shocking. I should get a haircut and a real job. But what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to shoot a very short video explaining the adjustments on the rig. I've had some questions on my channel about how the seat is adjusted, how the steering wheel is adjusted, how the pedals are adjusted, and also how the monitor is set up. Now, this is a custom setup on the monitor. Let's start with this because this is going to differ from monitor to monitor depending on what monitor that you have or you want to purchase. With a motion sim and with having the monitor actually fixed on the rig, it's going to be really important that you have a top bracing point and a bottom bracing point. Now, this is a relatively small, curved, cheapish Philips monitor that I use. I would really love a much larger monitor, and I'm thinking about it, but they ain't cheap. So for now, this is set up basically so then when I'm playing my games, it's almost like that's the windscreen in comparison, and I use around 48 to 50 field of view when I play. That's just a side thing that I would quickly mention. So with the head tracking as well, I don't feel the need to have a really large monitor because I'm close and I can look into my side mirrors really easily when I'm driving with head tracking. You can kind of get away with not needing a massive monitor. You get the immersion with head tracking. It's not VR, I guess, but it's very similar. But anyway, that's just by the by. Back to the monitor and how it's mounted. Now, my monitor originally had this setup already on it, okay? And this just went to some legs, okay? So this was like a sort of a piece that screwed into a set of legs. It happened to fit inside a piece of tube, a piece of galvanized pipe, all right? That's how I've set that up. So I was able to keep that basic connection that used to just have legs that the monitor would sit on a table with. I just removed the legs. I was able to feed this round sort of mechanism into the tube. I've set up a pinch bolt set up here so then it pinches that into place. And my monitor had fixing points at the top of the monitor as well. So if you had like a big television stand sort of setup, you know, you can get a wall mount television rack frame. This had that already in it. It had two hole locations in the top of the monitor and the two for this stand. So what I was able to do is to use a little piece of metal I just cut off. This is actually off one of those television bracket mounts. It was part of the television mount bracket that I modified to hold my keyboard and mouse. Right, I have shown this before, and I used stuff from that I wasn't going to use to cut and sort of doctor up this sort of setup here where I've got like a bracket that is held onto those top hole locations on my monitor. Okay, you can see that it basically came with this little threaded screw here that goes into this bracket. Right, and then I've just got a piece of 6mm round. I've welded a bolt onto the top of it. All right, and then that screw goes through that bolt that's welded onto the round. And then that round comes down and I just welded a little, surplus piece of bracketing from somewhere to that round. And then I've just tech screwed that bracket into that mount that came with my monitor, okay? So that braces the top of the monitor to the frame, okay? Because otherwise, when you have a monitor on your motion rig, you will basically destroy your monitor pretty quickly, I would imagine, if you don't have it well braced, okay? That's one downside with having a monitor on the rig. Before I did this, I had a static monitor on a frame. The problem with that is when the rig moves really, when it rolls hard right, hard left, I was losing contact with my IR camera for my head tracking. That was the main issue with having a static monitor. And it did take me a little while to get used to having a monitor that moved with the rig. It was a bit weird at the start. I've now got completely used to that and I would never go back to a static monitor. So now because the IR camera moves with the rig, I no longer lose contact with the monitor, especially in flight sims when you're doing like rolls and stuff like that and you really get a lot of roll on the rig. When the monitor was static, you'd roll right away from the camera and you'd lose contact with the IR camera, and then your monitor would, your picture, your graphics would go all over the shop. Okay, that's the monitor out of the way. Okay, that's just an idea to get the juices flowing for others when you're thinking about how you're going to mount a monitor, all right? This was completely a custom setup, the way that this frame sort of, just welds to the frame that my steering wheel base is on, okay? I don't really go into a lot of detail about this. There's a little bit on the 3DOF top frame build, but because this is going to vary so much between what wheelbases people have and how they have to set their wheelbases up, I didn't go into too much detail with it. But as far as the adjustments go for this, simply this 30 by 30 piece of tube slides over this 25 by 25, so it can go up and down. Both ends are the same, right? And it's just held into position with 2 tech screws. One tech screw that goes through on the side and one at the front, okay? So you'll basically set your steering wheel height up to however you want it, tech screw it. If you're going to have someone else occupying the seat, a child or something like that, and they're shorter, well, you'll take those tech screws out and you'll lower this. Now the same with the pedals. Oh, and of course, the whole steering wheel frame can move fore and aft. Same sort of scenario, okay? The 25 by 25 is welded to a 35 by 35, which slides over the 30 by 30 top frame, and it again is tech screwed, all right? Tech screw on the top, 2 on the side, so this can slide, and both sides are the same. Pedals are exactly the same. The pedal cage, tech screwed, okay? So these can slide. Okay, the height of the pedals up and down and the angle of the pedals are all from this 25 by 25 that goes inside this 30 by 30. And again, the 25 is tech screwed. Okay, so it can move up and down. This 25 by 25 can move up and down inside the 30 by 30. And that's how that's done, all right? So the pedals can move forward and back, up and down, and can be angled. The seat on the springs, okay? The seat on the spring heave mod. All I've done, guys, is I've got some 30mm by 30mm angle, right? The studs that the springs sit over, that come through here, they've just been welded onto that 30 by 30. All right, so it's movable. Again, just tech screwed with 3 tech screws, so it can slide fore and aft on the top frame. And then you just lock the screws in, so you can move the seat. And then basically the seat frame is built how it is in the seat frame build. It's just slightly different with the studs now welded onto some 30 by 30 angle instead of hard welded straight onto the top frame like they are in the actual seat spring heave modification. I put them on that angle so then the seat can move fore and aft, and that's the same both sides. Okay. Joystick's not movable. All right, it just sits where it is for me. But I get in and out of my rig with this setup, all right? My shifter is on this little frame, all right? And it's got, again, big piece of 35 by 35 that slides over the 30 by 30. I've made up a little frame here with 25 by 25. I can take this off and have my throttle put on with this little sort of plating setup here, all right? And this just slides forward so I can get in and out of the rig. And then when I'm in the rig, this just slides back to wherever I need it, which is right back there. And what I've done is I've got a vice clamp here, okay? I've cut one of these C-shaped vice clamps. I've cut 1/2 of it off, and it's welded on the bottom of the 35 by 35. Once my shifter is in the position I want it, I just lock that. And then the shifter can't go anywhere, all right? To get out, I unlock the vice clamp, and then the shifter's just slid forward so you can easily get in and out of the rig. That's how that is set up. And that's really it, guys. That's just a very quick overview of how that all works for folks that have been asking on my channel, how the adjustments all work and how I've braced my monitor for having a monitor on your actual motion sim. Till I see you guys in the next video, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and take it easy out there.